Okay, hi guys. Nice to meet you again through this video. And today's video, I'm gonna talk about some topics that I consider as important in order to go forward in my English learning process. And so I need to say that I'm recording this video because I've made some challenge that consists in talking for the camera for 5 minutes for around 100 times in order to see my progress along the way, tracking checking my progress, what kind of errors, grammatical errors I'm saying, what how it's going on my phrasal verbs, what is my vocabulary level and fluency and something like that. Mostly focus on the speaking skill. So today's video, I'm gonna answer answering questions very similar related with the speaking section of Cambridge test level B2, right? So I recording this video and also I am sharing my screens with those questions, those type of questions. So then the first block, it says like and dislike. How do you like to spend your evening? What do you do and why? Yeah, I would say in my regular evening, I usually like to be ready to rest mostly of the cases. Mm, but and I really I would say I enjoy preparing my own food in order to get ready all my food to the next day. Um, that includes to spend time at the kitchen and preparing my own food. Or I feel more relaxed when I'm making my own food and what type or dishes I'm gonna cook and also I like to be ready for resting. Something that I usually do is 30 minutes before I go to the bed. I try to relax my mind with any kind of devices like computer or cell phone, and also anything that can stimulate me with some emotional. And so for I like it to read some book that I like and make a prayer maybe or simply reflect or meditate if my day is was very good or okay. Do you prefer spend time on your own or with other people? I would say I like to spend time 80% in group and 20% alone. Um, because with people, you can share your what do you feel, what do you think about something you like in common, like a hobby or sport, soccer, running, trekking, traveling, or any kind of sport because there are many activities outdoors in teams. But also location with your friends or family. I would say especially occasions, not much really, but um, maybe it was some habit that I inherited from my mother, from my home, that uh, we are not so much to celebrate one party for something occasion, but yes, we celebrate the birthday with something simple like preparing one special food that the the person uh, is getting birthday, and also mm, uh, and maybe because of in the past we haven't so much of money in order to make a um, glamorous parties. That is something that I'm sure is we uh, through these humble parties we share genuinely feelings together And I think it's something that we need to consider and is most important rather than celebrate with glamorous things. Tell us about a festival or celebration in candidates' country. Yeah, that's right. Maybe in my family, so traditions, we are not so much of celebrating some parties or for a festival, but in my country, yes, we are considered as some country we like to celebrate for any achievements. For example, in the carnavales or maybe in the beginning month of each year, we we tend to celebrate the the welcoming of the summer with a lot of parties or festivals with bands or orchestras and traditional dancings. And we like uh, so many people in the country committing to some area of one region in order to celebrate and make a huge party. And also we are characteristic because we in those kind of celebration we really like to drink beers. What did you do in on your last birthday? In my last birthday, I would say I celebrate with my mom and my relative, which is a intimate uh, birthday because I didn't invite to my friends. It was something that happened in a regular day, indeed. Rather that we celebrate in the right day that I get birthday. Media. How much TV do you watch in the weekend? Do you prefer watch movie, TV running down or less? Yeah. Actually, nowadays, I consider I just watch TV just 10% of all my time, almost nothing, because no, I just connect through internet to any social or to see the news, to watch the news. So maybe just the weekends I watch the TV just for a few hours in order to get catch with all the news that are happening in my country. Tell us about the TV programs you've seen recently. One TV program I've seen, I would say, I found it here. Well, TV pro that tells someone's story from a poor family and who is living next to a rich family, where it's very clear the contrasts of each family because uh, uh, each family has its own traditions in how the way commuting to their works. In most of the cases, the poor family commuting to their works by buses in order, and the rich people commuting to their work in their luxury cars and something like that. It's something that is fun, and it was the last TV show I saw. And what do you use internet much? Why not? So much indeed. I spend almost, let's say, considering my job, I spend 12 hours a day, 18 hours a day. I spend all in my job workplace because as an accountant, all I do is through the one computer and software programs, and also I need to use the internet in most of the cases. And when I come back to my home, usually I keep my duties as I do apprenticeships with people, and I continue doing my own projects, and I need to use the internet. Like, do you ever listen to the radio? What programs do you like? What? Yes, I do. The radio. And most of the cases, I listen to radio through the internet. Mm, yeah, what programs I like to. I like to hear programs about the hobbies I liked. For example, English language. I really enjoy listening programs like podcasts on Spotify or YouTube that tell story of ways or strategy to learn and growing as in this area of learning English, or maybe stories that encourage to growing as a person in any topic that encourage me to keep learning and encourage me to see ways of different view to reach all my goals I've set in my life. Yeah, and then part two, I'm gonna share some photos. Indeed, for this case, I'm just gonna share two photos, the writer in the other part, because the other part, the reader, is gonna see all he has wrote on this paper, and he is gonna feel more connected with her because he's gonna see the letters and see his the way she is wrote. Uh, is something that gets stronger bound, I think, is more exciting. Exciting. In the picture too, yes, I think both of these ways works in order to communicate with another person. But I think it's more cool, let's say, when you are sending some note, some message to another person, because and, and even you can imagine that the other person is not writing actually those phrases. Maybe your other part are imagining that another person could could type that message, because cannot validate if that person you think is writing the message. Is for that reason I consider it's a cool way to communicate, but it works obviously. Maybe maybe uh, it's just using for mutual situations. It's more convenient this way to communication. But when you have you are aware that you can communicate with any people, friends, by texting a message through the one cell phone, and you text any times, whenever you want, many times. Maybe I think it loses that attractive of communicate something. Yeah, and I finished this sections, and the speaking part three. Yeah. So I I would like to finish this video saying how I felt answering these questions related to this speaking section test in Cambridge. I can say that I'm doing this because I want to familiarize with this kind of format of the test and get used to the the format and that kind of questions that is going to ask me the examiner in one day. And also, I can feel I would say that I felt more confident, a little confident more running than weeks ago. And I start to feel more flexible or more articulate all my words. And I'm start to growing my spontaneously come out my words through my mouth. Um, but in some way, I have to confess that still I have trouble, or I am still blocking my mind and try to convey my ideas and uh, form phrases, words, phrases, and trying to create the correct way to say something. But I can say that's a good start or new way to improving my speaking skills in order to get fluency in this speaking area. And I would like to congratulate myself because it's a new strategy that I'm doing, or recording myself and upload on my YouTube channel and see my progress. How um, and also I'm not just uh, talking some topics. I am recording myself in that possible questions I'm going to have in this section, the in the Cambridge test, and seeing how all through the Meet software, like and that um are I can able to see how the exactly words I'm saying and analyze all my grammatical error, which I am sure there are lots of mistakes in it. And but that's the thing that I need to realize all my error mistakes that I'm doing and correct them and take actions in order to improve the next week. Okay, guys, I hope that you are doing the same way in your journey learning process of learning any language. And it is one example I can improve and you can improve. Obviously, there are a lot of strategy you can implement in your journey learning, and there are a lot of video on YouTube of people that are in advanced level in English language, and they can share their own experience how they reach that kind of level. And that's all the video for this, guys, and see you to them.